Welcome back to another Basics with Brian. We are going to talk sidewalk equipment. We're going to feature walk behind spreaders, the drop spreader and broadcast spreader. We're also going to talk about shovels 30 and 36 and storage containers 3, 6, 12, and 18 capacity. On sidewalks, I try to get to the sidewalks after I plowed the lot in case there's any fall off that go on the sidewalk. There's nothing worse than shoveling the walk and having the snowplow driver come behind you and pull a little trail on the nicely groomed sidewalk. The push shovels are exactly that. They're not made to pick up and throw snow, so up to 2-3 inches of fluffy snow. I love using a push shovel. I use like the 36-inch, it's a little bigger because most sidewalks are 48. That way you don't have any trail off when you're pushing from side to side. One thing nice about a spreader, walk behind spreader, it gives a nice even pattern. I personally like the drop spreader. I can contain the salt down the middle of the sidewalk, where rotary spreaders, especially if you're next to a building or higher snowbanks, it tends to throw all the material where you don't want it. On the side where it's going to melt and kill the grass in the summertime, or against the building, which is hard on the building. A pet peeve of mine also is never use rock salt for sidewalks. Always use sidewalk salt. You'll use less of it with a little calcium chloride in there, and it goes a long way, and the dirty salt does not track into the buildings. There is a deflector kit for the broadcast spreader. It kind of contains the material from what I talked about as far as going against the banks or the building. It can help deflect it down, which is a nice feature if you don't have a drop spreader. So the salt spreaders work real nice. Obviously, keeping them dry is essential, especially with the calcium chloride. There's a real nice cover that goes with, not just in use, but traveling from location to location. It's real important to keep that spreader dry. So depending on conditions, I mean, it's one of those things that there's salt in the lot. How much do you put down? How much do you charge people, right? Obviously, if you know it's going to be icy or slippery, put down a little bit more, right? Nice thing about calcium chloride is the next time it snows, it can handle the first ½ inch of snow that comes down. So you don't have to be right on top of it, keeping the sidewalk free of ice and snow. If you need a little more, walk a little slower. If you need a little less, walk a little faster. So I keep a storage bin by each one of my properties that I plow for. I don't dump it in. I like having the bags there. I just scoop from that. It's mainly not for me. It's for when I'm not there during the day, and if somebody wants to touch up on the sidewalk, they can just grab the little scooper and spread a little bit down. It works out pretty good. The bigger storage containers work real nice when I want to empty out my hopper. Say I got a little bit left and I don't know what else to do with it. I'll actually just back it up and I'll stick the bin right underneath there and just let it go, because I never like leaving salt in my spreader. On the larger size storage containers, there is fork pockets. So if it gets too much, instead of having it emptied out by hand, they take the forklift to lift it up and put it in my truck, which is a nice feature. It also has a lock if you are concerned about people taking your salt. You could lock it. Like I said, I leave it open it's there for the public to use. These are also a heavy rotomold plastic that can handle severe weather conditions. Having the right tools to do the job obviously is essential on keeping what employees you have or making them happy. If you got the right tools to do the job, they'll be happy doing it. I actually do most of the shoveling and snow blowing myself, as that's the first thing and the last thing people remember when they're going in and out of a place. Keeping that good will keep your contracts for years to come. And that's your high-level overview of sidewalk equipment. Let's take a look at the top 5 takeaways.